Hi, guys, and welcome back to the middle game with Amelia and Lula. Have you noticed that we're now a weekly podcast? Pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy. It's pretty fun, actually, though. We were obviously on vacation like the past few weeks, so we staggered our podcast episodes.
That's why we are both even more tanned and sexy this week, even though it's
Yeah,
only been 7 days in your mortal time.
100%. Yes, it's
Yeah.
only been 7 days, but we have gotten tanner. We've gotten more beautiful.
Anyway, I heard that you got like a new job, like a big, important job, so that you won't have time for me anymore.
That's not true. I always have time for you. But yeah, I have been up to a lot this past week. I started school, which is so fun. Second year of my PhD. Woohoo. The other job that I'm doing is I will be a teaching assistant for a class called Grand Debates in Russian and Eurasian History. So really excited. And then the third job that I have is a fun new job that I got recently because a few months ago, I went to Gotham Chess's chess show. It stopped in Vienna, and they were very nice, and they gave me a VIP pass, and I went early, and I met Levy and saw Fiona and saw Alessia Santaramo was also there, but also too, who was there, who was someone I did not know before. His name is Felix Bloberger. He is an Austrian grandmaster. He's 23. He's super nice. We met there and I texted him like a few months ago and I was like, "Hey, need to keep my photography skills up and you're going to the FIDE World Cup soon. Would you like some free photos? I will do some photos for you and that way I can also use them to show just how good of a chess photographer I am." And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And so we went and we did this photo shoot and he was super nice, and now I am making his YouTube thumbnails and helping him out with his social media stuff. So that's really fun. But something that's really interesting actually that I wanted to talk about in this podcast episode that Felix and I were talking about while we were doing the photo shoot is we were talking about our favorite time controls. And personally, I don't know about you, I am a classical girly. I love classical chess. I like to think and ponder. And uh, we also recently saw that FIDE is testing out this new time control, 45 plus 30. And so I wanted to see what you thought about it, Lula, what your favorite time control is. And I don't know, what do we think about this new time control that FIDE is trying to roll out?
I actually think 45 plus 30 could be good if it's marketed as rapid and if people actually start caring about rapid. But I feel like the only people who care about rapid are the players. Like, I've heard a lot of grandmasters say they really like to play rapid because it's so much more chill. But I feel like for the viewers, like we care so much about the classical ELO and the classical world champion. And I know that FIDE does probably want to market 45 plus 30 as classical, right? Like 30 seconds is a lot of increment to get. It's what you usually get in a classical game as well. But it just seems like a strange compromise. I'm not sure that it would work. And I feel like classical chess is still where you see most of the viewership. Like, for example, the Chess World Championship is probably where you have the highest viewership, right? So these are the longest games that we ever see. And so clearly the fact that people are watching chess has nothing to do with how short the games are.
I totally agree. I think that for me, my problem is I think that not only chess companies, but FIDE thinks that the problem with getting more viewership in chess is they think that chess needs to be really exciting. It needs to be fast and move really quickly so that, people are engaged and like really stay excited about the moves on the board and what's going on and the emotions and the adrenaline. And I just feel like that there's no evidence to support that, with that helps people get into chess and stay in chess. Like, if anything, I think that the main problem with chess is not the time controls at all, but rather chess has an accessibility issue. It doesn't know how to, say, this is chess, this is what the moves are, this is why it's so interesting, we have such great players. They don't know how to market that aspect of chess. Like, the time control doesn't mean anything if people don't understand what chess is and like what it does. And there's no evidence to support that faster chess is easier to understand. And so I don't understand. It might be interesting to see how it goes if players like this new format, but it feels like a decision that FIDE made without consulting any actual chess players or doing a real market analysis, as I will pull out of my academic jargon of, what the people and audience in chess really want.
Yeah, I think that shorter games can actually be harder to understand, especially when you get deeper into the game and both sides are in time trouble. And I think that with regards to excitement in chess, like it doesn't really have anything to do with the time control. Like a classical game can be very exciting. Number one, if the position is exciting, and number two, if the commentators are doing a good job of conveying why it's exciting and if they're getting excited about it themselves. I think that if the commentators aren't enthusiastic, it's you're gonna have a hard time getting any audience on board. But yeah, honestly, like I feel like every week FIDE just does something, and like we say it's probably not a good idea, FIDE, and then they just continue to make poor decisions. So I don't even like know what to say at this point.
Yeah, I feel like the decisions, especially that FIDE is making in terms of chess, like they're gonna get worse before they get better. And so I just really fail to see how this 45 plus 30 is really gonna change things. But I guess we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like they could just make a rapid championship cycle instead because like if we want to look at faster chess, like there's just the World Rapid and Blitz once a year, but nobody really cares about who the World Rapid champion is or who the World Blitz champion is. Like they care for a week whilst the tournament is going on, and then after that, it's forgotten. Whereas the classical world champion is like we talk about Gukesh all the time, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
pretty much use that as like a benchmark for like how chess is going that year because we compare everything to how the world chess champion is doing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Speaking of Gukesh, he lost to Mishra this week at the FIDE Grand Swiss, and now Mishra is the youngest player to beat a reigning world champion. I mean, he's also the youngest grandmaster, so he's really annoyingly talented. But that's really
Yeah, he's kind
crazy.
of good.
He's like just kind of good. Like
Yeah, he's kind of good.
he kind of slays on the chessboard. Let him cook, really. But I just feel like if I was Gukesh, mentally, like I could not deal with this. Like,
But I feel like we're just seeing history repeat itself with Ding. Like obviously not so extreme because Ding just ended up disappearing from tournaments and we stopped seeing him play. But anybody who is the world chess champion right now who isn't Magnus is just I feel like they're being set up to fail in a way because they have this title that like some very vocal people in the chess community will say they don't deserve because Magnus is the best player. Like if you look online, people are saying stuff like or during the World Chess Championship cycle, they were saying stuff like it doesn't matter who the champion is if it's not Magnus, basically. And so now if Gukesh loses to somebody, it feels like these people are being proven right when in reality, like Magnus can lose to people and he does. But like every piece of news is like, oh, did our World Chess champion lose to another player who's meant to be not as good as they are? And it does feel like it can be very, very horrible for mental health. Like, obviously, Gukesh is so young as well that I think that when I was like 19, I couldn't process literally anything in my 19-year-old
I
old
always forget
brain.
he's 19, actually. That's crazy.
Yeah, like 19-year-olds' brains are not fully developed.
They really are not.
Um, not saying that this has like any relevance to his chess, but just to like being a human being and processing criticism and like coping with mental health. And like Ding is a fully grown adult and he struggled with it. So
Absolutely. I really loved how open Ding was about his mental health issues, like during the World Chess Championship. I think that it's really, as much as it's hard to connect, I think, with top chess players on that level, at the end of the day, they are human too. They maybe cope with it differently, but at the end of the day, they are still feeling the same emotions.
I know exactly what you're saying because like when we see criticism for top chess players, like for example, like Nepo springs to mind, is a lot of criticism about him is that he becomes like emotional and can't recover from a loss, for example. And I've spoken to so many people who are just like in chess who say they love Magnus, and then they say because he plays like a machine and stuff like this. And it's like they are so ready to remove the humanity from the top chess players because what they admire in them is just their ability to play chess in like as close to an engine as possible. But chess is so, so emotional. And I actually think that these stories are what make chess interesting and engaging and accessible and actually like endearing to a wider audience who doesn't actually care about if this engine line is 0.001 better than the other engine line, because that's not how you're going to get a bigger audience into chess.
100%.
Like human stories are so much more important, and you can't avoid the emotions with chess because it's such a psychological game. And when people talk about chess, like the next thing they talk about is like how there's no room for ego if you want to get better at it, how you just have to like move on. You can't dwell on your losses. And so all of this is intrinsically tied to our emotions and how we process losing. Um
100%. And also too, when you're playing a chess tournament, the environment matters so much and the people that you have around you matter so much. I think people think that chess players go to these, like especially top chess players go to these tournaments like by themselves on their own, and they are going to the World Chess Championship and just showing up and playing their games every day. Like they have a team of people around them helping them, work through lines and making sure that they're taking care of themselves. I think when an audience sees it more as an individual sport, it really doesn't allow the chess player to really connect with those emotions, and it makes them almost feel embarrassed. I mean, for me specifically, like everyone knows it's not even an open secret. It's just like everyone knows like yes, I'm a chess historian, but really I don't play chess. Like I've played in one tournament ever. I just recently started like studying chess again.
Ooh.
And I play like some puzzles online or I'll play a few games, but I am not like a chess player. And a lot of it is like because mentally in my head, I am afraid to lose and I have anxiety about that, and I have anxiety about playing against other people, and I also have a lot of anxiety around people like looking at my chess games and like critiquing my moves and not being like perfect or the best. And if I have that at what maybe I'm a, like 1,000 on a good day, like I can't imagine the pressure that's going on at the top.
Yeah, I think that I mean, even among casual chess players, people have a fear of queuing, which exists in other video games as well, where it's when you get to a certain ranking and you don't want to lose because you don't want to feel like you're worse than the little number you have on your screen or whatever. Like you don't want to drop down below that and feel like your skills are being questioned. But I think that it's totally true. Like even for Ding, I think he said that his mom was going to like championships with him, so like that she could cook, so that he could have like that sense of continuity and like normalcy in his life whilst he was competing. So like there is no singular champion without like the masses of people behind them like helping them do what they do. And I think that we so often say that emotions are a weakness in chess because they prevent you from assessing a position objectively, that you realize that actually like emotions are the reason that we do everything. Like they're the reason that we play chess, they're the reason that you want to win. Like without that you would have no desire to go forward and win. So I think it's just very impressive to see people at the top of their game like in so much control. And it feels like Gukesh, obviously what we see is a very polished version of things because it's social media and it's interviews and everything, but like he appears to be dealing very well with everything, even though I think personally it must have been very hard because you're in the shadow of Magnus, and you like would have seen what happened with Ding and the criticism that Ding faced. So I heard that he has a pretty crazy schedule. He's playing constantly for literally the next 2 months. Could not be me.
It
I
could
played
not be
rapid
me
chess
either.
yesterday. I played like 3 games of rapid chess, and I was like, "Yep, that's enough. That's enough for me." And to be honest, like I was so optimistic about getting back into chess with coaching and stuff. I said in our last episode, but I actually just I'm not feeling so good about chess at the moment. And I think
Oh
it's
no.
because but I think it's just because I personally don't have that desire that I was talking about to improve or to win or to play. Like I just don't have the drive that you need to actually like lock in and care, because for me at this moment in my life, I feel like chess is just like a one part of it, which is really important for me to have a balanced life and other things in my life. It's something that I talk about on my stream. And I feel like I don't have that hunger to reach a certain elo or like stuff like that, because for me personally, if I have numerical goals like that, I'll fixate on them, and that's not
Hmm.
healthy to do. So I think that it's really hard to strike that emotional balance actually.
Do you think that once you start coaching and maybe getting a bit more confident, like in your openings again and playing more regularly, that you'll get there? Or do you think that, you know, the future of chess for you is more just like a fun side hobby? Because I mean, it's also your career in a way. You know, you're a chess content creator. I think you as a person are trying to branch out a little bit from that, you know, talking a bit more about your life in Paris. Like, yes, our podcast is mostly about chess, but we do, you know, like to talk about our movies and books we're reading. Like, do you think that you will maybe get back into it once you start doing coaching again, or?
Yeah, I think one thing that I realized is for me, if I am going to be studying chess, I need like a study partner. I need somebody to keep me accountable. But more than just keeping me accountable, I need somebody to share that growth experience with, because I don't want to be on that journey on my own. I don't find it like fun to
Mm-hmm.
be on that journey on my own, because one of the things I cherish most about chess, and I do love chess, is how many amazing friends I've made through it and connections. And so I think if I were to go for like a rating push or anything and started getting like heavily back into studying, I would want a study partner probably around my rating, and I would want us to be, studying regularly together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that would mean a lot to me, because we would be going through the same kinds of feelings also about studying, and like it's the same for going to the gym. Like I much prefer going to the gym if I go with a friend. Like it
Yeah.
makes the whole thing, I would say, infinitely more enjoyable. Like I'm not trying not to exaggerate. I don't even think that's an exaggeration, just because going to the gym with one of your friends is so much better than going on your own. And I feel honestly the same way about training chess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely get that. I feel the same way when it comes to going to the gym. So I 100% understand. Who do you think Gukesh, uh, like, do you think it's Prague? Like, who do we think is Gukesh's study buddy? Like,
Oh, well, I think he probably just has a coach, but he definitely has a second. Maybe Gukesh would be study buddies with like Vincent Kaimo or Hari Krishna if they helped him in the match. But I thought you were going to ask me, I thought you were going to pose the question, Lula, like if you could have anyone as your chess study buddy, like who would you have? Like that's what I thought you were going to ask, but you segued back to Gukesh.
yeah, sorry. I
Um,
just like when we started talking about that, I started thinking about, oh, I wonder if because you know all these top GMs, they go to training camps together. It's kind of like summer
do
camp for
they?
them, I guess. Yeah, they do.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's so real. They all go to right now. The Austrian team is at training camp. I think it's fine for me to say that. And so they're at training camp right now, and they, you know, they all go and train together. And so it's like a kind of a thing. And I was thinking about how I was like, I wonder who Gukesh's study buddy is.
I would love to go to a camp with you and like Dodgy, where we do chess and we like stay in a cabin, but also like there's other stuff.
Yeah,
too, not
there's
just
like
chess.
kayaking or
Yeah.
marshmallows around the fire.
Yes. I've never experienced that in my whole life.
Oh, I have. It's really fun. I went to summer camp as a kid.
Yeah, I've never done that. I would love to do that.
There's like adult summer camps. We could go to one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my, we should do that. Maybe we should start the first like
Uh,
chess summer camp, but for people who are bad at chess but also want to have fun.
yeah, I think that'd be really fun.
You're from Louisiana.
Actually, yeah, my summer camps were in Louisiana. And speaking of people who have been in Louisiana recently, and someone who's also really locking in on, their rating climb and clearly has the push and drive for being better at chess is Hikaru. Hikaru is trying to get the rating spot for the candidates, but the caveat to that is that there's an activity requirement for the rating spot, so they have to play, I think it's like 23 classical games in order to qualify for the rating spot. And so he's been going around to Louisiana. Louisiana mentioned for our listeners who don't know, I'm from New Orleans, and I think he also went to Idaho recently.
No way.
Yeah,
Idaho,
Yahweh.
the corn state.
Nope, that's Iowa.
Oh, what is Idaho?
The potato state.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry.
he's been
What is
going
Louisiana
around.
then? If everyone has a vegetable, sorry.
What? What is our
If
vegetable?
Yeah, like if all the states have a vegetable,
Louisiana, ours is not a vegetable. We have crawfish. It's like a little shrimp.
yeah, technically not a vegetable, I guess. So people were being pretty critical of the way that he's doing things. Like I was watching the Chess Dojo stream the other day, and they had things to say, and everybody has things to say about the way that he's doing things. And like this isn't the first time, that a grandmaster has picked and chosen who they play to try to um, you know, gain rating or get enough games in. Like I'm pretty sure it happened with Ding
And Ali Reza
um,
as
and
well.
Ali Reza. Yeah, like it's happened with like so many different grandmasters. So Hikaru is not special in this way. It's just I think also because Hikaru is so in the public eye, obviously he's going to be criticized more than others. People do love to criticize Hikaru because it will get them eyeballs on their posts.
I will say the way Hikaru is doing this is not cute, really. He's playing like 1800s. like, he, yes, he's not playing like. I'm sorry, not to rag on my home state, but like we don't have any grandmasters in Louisiana, or at least not any that I know of.
I guess he could just play like regular prestigious open tournaments. Like you see grandmasters playing opens all the time. Like for example, the Reykjavik Open, like Prague has played it, Ivanchuk has played it. Like loads of prestigious grandmasters have played it, and it's a really well-regarded tournament. So, like, there's nothing wrong, I think, with really strong chess players playing opens. But yeah, Louisiana State Championship is pretty wild considering Hikaru's not from Louisiana, and like surely there are other tournaments he could have done this summer or that he could be playing in preparation for the rating spot for the candidates. Plus, also like he only gets this rating spot right if Magnus doesn't take it because obviously Magnus is higher rated, so he would qualify for it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do we think that Magnus is going to play in the candidates?
Probably not, but also like who cares?
That's true. Do we think that? I feel like though, after Magnus really left, it's hard. It really has changed the landscape of chess a lot, especially at the top level. And I just don't know that we're really ever going to live that down. Like, and I don't know how to, like,
I mean, I it doesn't look good for a sport when the world just or when the strongest player is like, I don't want to play with you guys anymore. Like
it doesn't at all.
it doesn't.
But also are Magnus's demands like unreasonable at the same time? I feel like in a way a little
Yeah,
bit.
I think that there is like some tantrum throwing in a way. But the problem is also FIDE does just bend to most of what Magnus seems to ask for. Like now there's a new dress code for the World Rapid and Blitz this year, and they literally did an advertisement with like denim on it, didn't they, for
Oh
this
yeah.
new? Yeah,
They were
so I
like, the
mean
rules are
like
more flexible now.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, like in some ways Magnus not playing makes it more interesting because you don't have a clear favorite necessarily for every tournament.
Hmm.
Um and I quite like that personally because it makes it more interesting. But I mean, so many of the chess community are just interested in what Magnus is doing, so maybe people will strongly disagree with me.
Yeah, I think we'll see in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see how the chess landscapes survive with Magnus. And you never know, maybe he'll be like, you know what, I'll come back and I'll play classical chess and sorry guys for being a little cray cray.
Does this mean we don't have to record another episode for the next 5 to 10 years?
Because we think that the chess landscape is going to be the same. I mean,
No, but I
maybe.
think
She needs to go on a 5 year
obviously
hiatus.
Magnus will come back and play tournaments at some point. Like he'll
He
get
has
bored.
to,
He'll get bored. He won't have anyone to play with.
right?
So yeah, unless he like stages a coup and takes over FIDE.
That's my job.
Oh,
A
I
few
can't
months
see you
ago,
leading a coup. No offense.
you can't
Like
see me leading a coup.
no, I can see you like organizing a coup, but I don't see you like knocking on the FIDE door with your horse and your sword.
That's kind of true. I am a people pleaser and I don't like when people are mad at me.
I also just like for me a coup has to have a horse and a sword. I feel like that's how
Hmm.
war is waged. I don't
No,
really
100%.
yeah.
But also, too, a few months ago, I feel like since 2022, I have been slowly psychologically infiltrating everyone in chess and really just spreading the word that in 2036 I will be the FIDE president. And a few months ago, Anish Giri was like, I'm going to be the FIDE president. And I was like, back off. That is my job. I've been trying to do this
Yeah.
since 2022. Like,
Pretty cringe.
be respectful of your
Hmm.
predecessors who have been trying to take over FIDE.
Yeah. I think Anish, he just has these little hyperfixations that last like a day, and then he's probably forgotten that he ever tweeted that, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. Also, like he has kids, he's way too busy to be FIDE world
Right?
president. Like he has like toddlers, not it's not gonna happen.
No, absolutely not.
I think this is the bit where I ask you.
Okay.
So Amelia, there's been something that I've really wanted to ask you, and I'm not proposing, don't worry. Uh,
I'm
I'm
already
not
engaged,
proposing.
so
Oh, is this an announcement we want to do, or
sure, we can do it.
like, so Amelia is engaged to be married, not to me, by the way, chat.
I
Um,
wish.
Amelia is engaged to be married to, well, her fiance. I feel like he's anonymous, so maybe we shouldn't
He is
actually.
anonymous. We'll keep him
Yeah,
anonymous, but yes,
hmm
I'm off the
yeah.
market.
You're off the market. I, however, am no, I'm kidding.
I'm setting us up for our dating podcast episode, guys. Just wait. Future episode, we're gonna have fun dating podcast.
No, no, no. Are we? Are
Yeah,
we
we're gonna have,
really?
well, not a whole podcast, but like a podcast episode.
Okay,
I think
that
it'd be
sounds
fun.
fun.
I wanna psychologically analyze top GM's love lives.
Does sound really fun. I'm sure they have some very bad stories to
Yeah.
tell. Anyway, to round off this week's podcast, Amelia, I wanted to ask you about a powerful move you played either in chess or in real life this week.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's a powerful move that I've made in chess or over the board. Um,
No, or in real life.
yeah, I know, but I feel like we should start calling real life over the board.
Oh, that's a powerful move.
Thank you. I'm trying
Yeah,
to come up with like a
it's
thing.
bold. Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see that over the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be good slang. I like
Thank
it.
you. And
Yeah.
so, I think the powerful move I've made, honestly, is I've started studying chess again. I am trying to do like 1 hour a day, really ease myself into it. I do a few puzzles. I play a few unrated games, and then that is what I do. I realized the other day I was playing my one annual game of online chess a year, and I had got the black pieces randomly on chess.com, And I was like, I have no idea what to do with the black pieces. I was like,
Me neither.
I forgot any inkling of an opening that I ever had in my brain. Because at Sligo, I played the Dutch, but I was like,
Crazy
I don't
take.
know what to do now. I don't remember any moves from the Dutch. And so I was like, maybe now is the time to start studying again. And I think my goal for not this year, because I'm really busy this year, but next year, especially because next year I have to live in the Netherlands for like 3 months to do my PhD research, is I think I want to play in another chess tournament, maybe even two.
What? That's
And
such a big announcement. Why didn't you start the podcast with that? What?
because that
Which
would,
ones? Can I come?
yeah, of course. We can.
Oh my
The Netherlands has
gosh.
a lot of chess, so like we could play a chess tournament there, and maybe it would be
Okay.
fun. And they're really open to like, I think, because Anna Maya's from there, and I think they are pretty open and with to streamers and stuff. So
Okay.
maybe I don't know if I'll start streaming because I have this weird debacle with being a. Guys, I do this every 3 months. I'm like, I'm gonna become a streamer, and I never do it. Like, don't. This
I,
is
no offense, I don't think you could be a streamer because you don't want to be anywhere for more than 20 minutes.
it's so true. Except for
Like,
my bed because I like laying down.
I guess you could stream from your bed, but I feel like it's not conducive to playing brilliancies.
No, definitely not. So, yeah, my powerful move is slowly getting back into studying chess. What is your powerful move been?
Oh, well, actually, I did play a brilliancy yesterday
That's
in a
huge
game.
news.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It
Like
is.
any sacrifice on chess.com is a brilliancy now. So like
Is it?
I don't mean to brag, but I get them all the time. Um, no, but like I sacrificed. Yeah, I sacrificed tonight. I won the game. Um, does that count? Because it's like a literal move. But I think that I should get back into studying. But yeah, I need to find a study buddy.
Well,
So
I'm
I
not
feel
your
like
level, but I'll be your study buddy.
we could co-study, like, in the same call. I
Yeah,
was gonna say in the same room, and then I was like, we do not live in the same country. That's so
I
sad.
know. It
But
is
yeah,
sad,
we
but we'll see each other.
maybe I'll host interviews to be my study buddy.
Yeah, you could do that.
That could be good content.
I do think that unfortunately, we need to wrap up our podcast. Thank you so much to our listeners for going on this deep dive with us into the week in chess news. We're not frequently going to be.
What?
What?
I don't think this was the week in chess news.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna have to go because Amelia has an appointment at the dentist.
I don't, but we do have to go.
Um,
Um, Thanks so much for listening.
yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys. Hopefully by our next podcast, I will have started studying chess again. 50-50.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. You can place your bets now.
I'll do a poll on when you publish a podcast episode, you can publish a poll with it until I'll put,
Oh,
has Lula started studying yet?
that's good. That's good. Thank you so much, guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already.
And
Leave us a little
follow.
review. Yeah. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.